When it comes to conjugating irregular verbs in the imparfait tense, first of all, there's only one in the imparfait that's actually irregular, and that is the verb être. That's because in the nous form, the verb être is conjugated nous sommes, and there's no ons to drop, so we had to make up a stem, which is ate, e with an accent aigu, and then a t. So j'étais, tu étais, il était, nous étions, vous étiez, ils étaient, elles étaient is how you would say he was, she was, they were. All of the other verbs follow the pattern of taking the present tense nous form and then dropping the ons. So it's pretty simple. The only tricky thing is that we have not learned the present tense conjugation of every irregular verb ever. So some of these might be unfamiliar to you and we'll have to practice them. A lot of these are going to be pretty simple in that the nous form looks like a regular verb. They're not very complicated or weird looking. For example, aller, to go, becomes allons, so the stem is al. Avoir, to have, is avons, donc it's have, donc means so. Sorry, I'm thinking in French. Devoir, to have to, devons, dev. Pouvoir, to be able to, is pouve. Vouloir, to want, is voul. Savoir, to know, is savent. This is to know facts and information. Mettre, to put on, is met, and rire, to laugh, is ri. And there are actually a few more that are simple. There I go. Vivre, to be alive, is vive. Venir, to come here, ven. Dormir, partir, servir, and sortir are not regular IR verbs. They don't do the IS, IS, IT. Instead, they are SST, their own special subset of irregular IR verbs. They look pretty normal over here. You don't have the ISSONS. It's dormant, so dorm, partons, part, servir, serve, and sortons, sort. So if you wanted to say, I used to go out, it'd be je sortais and not je sortissais. You don't have the ISS for those four. There are other ones that are a little bit trickier. For example, some use an S in the nous form, like faire becomes faisons. Other examples of this are dire, to say, is disons, so the stem is dis. Faire, to do, faisons, my stem is fais. That's pronounced fais. Je faisais, tu faisais, il faisait. Nous faisions, vous faisiez, il faisait. Lire, to read, becomes lise. Conduire, to drive, like to drive a car, is conduise. So this is how you would conjugate ones that use an S. Je lisais, tu lisais, il lisait. Nous lisions, vous lisiez, elle lisait. Some irregulars use a V in the nous form, like boire, to drink becomes buvons, buve. Écrire, to write, becomes écrivons, écrive. J'écrivais, I used to write, you used to write. Tu écrivais, il écrivait. Nous écrivions, vous écriviez, elles écrivaient, they used to write. Some use the letter Y, like voir, to see, and croire, to believe. Nous voyons becomes voy. Nous croyons becomes croyez. So I used to believe is je croyais. I used to see is je voyais. Here's voir conjugated. The Y sound makes a Y sound. Je voyais, tu voyais, il voyait. Nous voyions, vous voyiez, elle voyait. And some irregulars just don't have a set pattern to follow. For example, connaître, that is to know, like to be familiar with a person. Like, oh yeah, I know Stéphane, I know him, would be connaître instead of savoir. And the nous form is nous connaissons. So my stem is connaisse. And then prendre, to take, is not a regular RE verb, so I don't have the letter D here. It's just prénom, prenne. Here's the verb connaître. I used to know him. Je connaissais, tu connaissais, il connaissait. Nous connaissions, vous connaissiez, elle connaissait. Here's our list, the chart of ones that we will be responsible for learning. So most irregular verbs don't look very weird. These are the ones that you do need to pay attention to. Être is être, dire, dise, faire, faise, lire, lise, conduire, conduisent, connaître, connaissent. Notice if you have just one S, it makes a Z sound. If you have two, it makes a S sound. Lisez, conduisez, connaissez. Prendre, prennent, boire, buvent, écrire, écrivent, voir, voient, croire, croient. And then you're going to add AIS, AIS, AIT, all your imparfait endings to these stems. So here's what they would sound like. J'étais, tu disais, il faisait, nous lisions, vous conduisiez, elle connaissait. Je prenais, tu buvais, il écrivait, nous voyions, vous croyiez, for example. Here's what they might look like in a sentence. Je buvais toujours du coca, I always drank soda. Tu lisais les romans policiers, you used to read detective novels. Il prenait des cours d'anglais, he used to take English classes. Elle voyait un film chaque weekend, she watched a movie every weekend. Nous conduisions une Honda, we used to drive a Honda. Vous faisiez de l'athlétisme, you all used to do track. Elle connaissait mes amis, they used to know my friends. Ils écrivaient des lettres à leurs correspondants, they used to write letters to their pen pals. So for irregular verbs, technically only one of them is irregular, and that's être. For all the other ones, I just need to learn the new form present tense and drop the ONS.